Mike's muted. Yo, what is up, people? How's everyone been? Hopefully everyone had a wonderful Wednesday, and is ready for an even better Thursday. The market just keeps on rolling. We had a nice little pop in the after hours yesterday. We saw that around like 8:30, 9 o'clock or so. We had our friends from Think with Bookmap last night hit us up and tell us to take a look over at the Bookmap stream. We saw that move in the market. That got respected a little bit going into the open, but then there's still some seller in the north side over here kind of stuffing the market down a little bit. They were having an absolute battle, and we were seeing big moves happening at some point of the day today. It was crazy. I was able to get a nice short on the market at some point, but man, the moves were just monstrous. I think the market QQQ just casually just dropped half an ATR in one candle, and I'm just sitting there like, what the hell am I watching? And then right away we get matched up with enough buyers to kind of retaliate and not really go too much to the downside, and we bounce off of yesterday's VWAP, actually, if you keep watching some of my charts that we'll talk about later. So pretty crazy moves. The fact that there was selling, but the selling got matched up with a decent amount of buying that allowed us to stay green on the day. So lots of craziness overall, lots of fun, says Swimmer. Indeed, lots of fun. Fun is one way to put it. Craziness is the other way I would put it. I mean, Jesus, people were just splashing around position and money like it's made of nothing. And then I guess that's the way you have to be at that point to not give a shit anymore, and that's when you start making those big bucks, right? But man, it was crazy to watch the market move around like that. I haven't seen the market move around like that in a while. That's why I was shocked. But how does that help us out with tomorrow? Tomorrow we do have Papa Powell going on the microphone again for the day 2 of the testimony. Should be around 10 o'clock. We still have a lot of market economic data to come out all day throughout the day tomorrow. We'll talk about that more in depth after my watch list. On the watch list today, starting with, obviously you guys saw that little bit of a thumbnail fun that I was having with you guys, which is what is it? The Victoria's Secret, almost forgot, Victoria's Secret thumbnail that I have got going on, you know, a little bit of a hilarious one. But Victoria's Secret drops about 25% to the downside. Big move, gives up quite a bit of its gains that it's retraced for quite some time now, but giving it all back. Looks like go woke, go broke has been pretty much the name of the game. Disney did that recently. They got slapped up. Victoria's Secret doing that, and they got slapped up over here. But we'll take a look to see how they set up for some possible trades tomorrow. We'll also go take a look at their earnings report to see if their earnings report justifies the move that the stock has had. Along with that, we have a lot of stocks coming out with earnings. Sadly, it's in the pre-market tomorrow and in the after hours, so we can't really do too much for the stocks that are reporting after hours tomorrow, but we will kind of quickly go to the stocks that are setting up for pre-market movers and see if there could be any possible setups over there for us to lean off of. And then I could possibly show you some of my trades on the day too, and then we'll wrap it up on that note, because I don't think there's an S&B Capital video today for us to watch. There is one on options, but sadly I don't really trade options. Not really, I don't trade options at all, so no real use for me watching that video in my opinion. So I'm just gonna not watch the options video, and I'm gonna wait for the next S&B Capital video. The last one we watched, I think, which was yesterday, was actually pretty damn good. I like that one a lot. And I'm gonna chop that video up from yesterday's stream and put it up as its own separate stream own separate video on the channel here. So make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe. I see Ani's in the chat. What's up, Ani? What the hell is that emoji? Is that like a what the hell is it? Somebody waving or dancing? It looks like somebody listening to music and dancing. I thought it was a frog for a second. From where I'm sitting and from what I'm looking at, it looked like a frog. But the more I look into it, it looks like a wave or a dance. Somebody listening to music and dancing. I don't know, something like that. But what's up? How you been, Ani? How's your day? Hopefully you had a better evening than your morning. I know you had a little bit of a iffy start to your day, but hopefully a better end coming over here going into the later half of the night. Mikey Crahan, Mr. 305 in the house, hitting with the dab. How you doing, brother? I actually would love to hit a dab. Damn. But no, we're live. We're not going to hit a dab right now. After stream, maybe. Also, Mikey Crahan, UFC 299. Starting up this Saturday. So if you want to watch that together, hit me up. We'll watch that bad boy. We'll probably even do what we were planning to do last weekend. So hit me up, UFC 299. Why don't we actually start with that, ladies and gentlemen? I want to start with this big UFC card coming up this weekend. UFC 299. There we go. Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera. Now, Sean O'Malley's only loss and only one loss comes to Chito Vera. So we'll see how if it can go to 2 losses. And does Marlon Chito absolute gangster Vera, who had a really garbage fight for his last fight though. Absolute horrendous fight for his last fight. Did not even fight, was just running around in circles. But does Marlon Chito Vera take over the belt from Sean O'Malley? This is a pretty good fight too. It'll be insane to see who wins. I think neither one of them has a quit in them. They're just gonna go for war. Michael Page versus Kevin Holland. I think Page is way more skilled than Holland, so I think Page should win that on feet. But Holland is good on the ground. I think Page could lose on the ground. We'll see if Page has it on the ground or not. Gilbert versus Jack Della Mandela. That's Madalena. That's also another sick fight over there. Peter Yan versus Song Yadong. This guy has been taking losses after losses. It's almost like the UFC has been rigging him. We'll see if he loses this one, he might just have to quit. So we'll see what happens over there. Prelim, Curtis Blades, Geraldine Almeida. Okay, that's not bad. Caitlin Shikugan, Macy Barber. That's gonna be a brawl, or probably on the ground. Honestly, she's a submission artist if I remember correctly. That's a pretty sick fight. RDA versus Matthias Gamru. That's a pretty sick fight in the prelims. My goodness. Pedro Munoz and Kyler Phillips. I've seen him fight before. I don't think I've seen this guy fight too much. So we'll have to do some research on that guy. Early prelims. Yo, even the prelims have some absolute bangers. We got the guy who does backflips in middle fight. CJ Vergara is on the prelims, or early prelims, sorry. This is an insane card. What are we talking over here? This card is stacked. 299 is huge. What a card. Yeah, okay. I'm excited for this card, baby. Dance City. Oh yeah, isn't it in your hometown? Isn't it in your hometown? Are you going to go watch it actually in the arena? If so, then obviously we can't watch it together. But if you're not, then yeah, we'll watch the game. We'll watch the fight together. We'll have some fun over there. That fight looks that card looks stacked. Stacked. But let's get started with what's on board for today, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the watch list, starting with Victoria's Secret. A couple of the stocks that report earnings tomorrow, right there, pre-market. This list of stocks right there. Then we have a couple of the stocks that announce earnings today, some of them that I actually traded today, and then obviously the large cap basket along with the coin cryptocurrency basket. The fact that Bitcoin actually reclaims 60 and stays above 60 is goddamn bullish. So I can't wait to talk about this one. We're now going back to 65. I think we were at 67 in the morning though, 67, 68 in the morning. So, I mean, this is still pretty freaking bullish on Bitcoin. So we'll see if 70K comes into play very soon. I'll be very, very excited to see what happens in the 70K and higher on Bitcoin. But let's get started with the watch list, which is VSCO, Victoria's Secret, which I said that it dropped about 25% or so, at least at the time that I saw the stock. It was down 25%. So let me just quickly delete some of my old lines that I no longer use. Okay, let me just throw in a couple of the lines over here for today's high, today's low, today's high. Okay, and then I'm gonna quickly go to the 60-minute time frame, turn off regular extended trading hours, and then kind of start charting over here as to what levels might be interesting for me to keep an eye out for. Obviously, we know the stock had dropped to the downside quite a bit, so I'm only going to be looking to the downside at the moment as to what levels we'll possibly see some buying come off of, maybe some relief rallies. Looks like there's a little bit of an area over here too. I mean, somewhere there possibly. This is pretty discretionary, obviously. Looking to see if we can get more than one matching high. That's a little bit of a gap right there, isn't it? That's right into that earnings. But don't think we need that at the moment. I kind of want to capture this range. So maybe I'll just put one on this range high right there before we break out. So, okay, that's kind of in the middle of the range too. I kind of wanted to capture that range over there because that range looked a little important. We had this double top, triple top, whatever you want to call it. We broke out, consolidated, and then had another breakout with the help of the earnings report. But now, sadly, with the next earnings report right after the previous one, looks like the stock has crumbled. Let's turn back on the extended trading hours and put in, ooh, yeah, we got under 20 bucks there. Psych. We're gonna put in the earnings anchored VWAP real quick. Ooh, messed up. Put in the earnings anchored VWAP ER March 24, and then let's go read about the earnings using our friends with Benzinga. Shout out to Benzinga. If you want to use Benzinga, please do check out the link down below, and you can check the affiliate link down below in the description. Victoria's Secret for the earnings report. But let's go. Where is the report? Is that the one? Okay, I guess we could read that. That's more summarized over here than the. Oh, this is just the headline. Okay, got you. Victoria's Secret shares are tumbling in Wednesday after hours session after the company reported fourth quarter financial results. Here are the look at the key metrics for the quarter. 2.08 billion missed estimates versus 2.09, barely missing. 2.58 beats estimate versus 2.47, sorry. So pretty much beating EPS, missing revenue slightly. Victoria's Secret said it generated 589 million in operating cash flow during the quarter and paid down 410 million in asset-based revolving credit facility. The company ended the quarter with the cash position of 270 million. The company board also authorized a new share repurchase program. Okay. Everything just looks good for now. So what's going on over here in the fiscal 2? Obviously, we know go broke. In the fiscal year of 2023, the Victoria's Secret purchased 3.7 million shares of the total 125 million. With the long-term health of the business in mind, we remain committed to our strategic priorities: accelerate the core, ignite growth, transform the foundation. As we look into the new year, we recognize the broader intimate markets in North America has been down for 4 consecutive quarters, and we're planning the business appropriately conservative in the near term, says the CEO. I mean, what's the guidance over here? I guess the guidance probably missed. Victoria's Secret first quarter net sales decreased in the mid-single digit range, okay, compared to the prior year's quarter. Adjusted operating income expected to be between 10 million to 35 million. What's the previous one though? Did they post this one's operating income, this report's operating income? Maybe then we can compare it to, oh come on, then we can compare it to at least the one that they're guiding to, but they didn't even post that one over here in the report. But we are seeing that they're guiding, I guess, a little bit lower than what the market's currently expecting to. The company also guided a full year 2024 revenue approximately 6 billion versus estimates of 6.28 billion. That's a miss over there for the full year. For the quarter, I'm guessing that's a miss also. They're giving a range of 10 to 35 million. That's a pretty wide range. Almost like they're uncertain. They don't really know if they're going to beat it or not. Now I'd guess that the range or the estimate is 35 million and they're guiding from 10 to 35, so that's a pretty big miss in my opinion if that's the case. Overall, yeah, go vote, go broke, and GG goes the stock to the downside. Initially made a pretty good move to the upside, but the sellers came right back in and bullied the stock to the downside, sadly, taking it right back into what, $18. So that's right over here right now on the daily chart. A little bit of a double bottom, I guess you could say. We kind of broke under this and pop right back up. It is a 4 quarters of straight missing, I guess, on North America. Even though it says a green report over here, that is 4 straight quarters of struggle on the stock, and going back into $18 at the moment. We'll wait to see. I think 16 could even come into play. 16, 17. Is this the all-time low? We might have to go find out. That is the all-time low. So yeah. That's the all-time low. We have seen, I mean, previously I saw Rivian. We saw Rivian go to the downside, and we thought that Rivian wouldn't break the all-time low, and Rivian actually had a decent earnings report. So the fact that Rivian crashed the way it did, why doesn't this stock do that too at that point, right? So I mean, this could easily fall to the downside. We do, a lot of women do buy Victoria's Secret stuff, and we men do love it when they do that. But overall, the numbers are just not supporting it. Big volume candle coming in, and I'm pretty sure that's not today. That's the after hour numbers basically being played out. Yeah, that's the after hours volume basically being calculated over there into the today's candle. But big volume coming into the after hours, bullying the stock to the downside, breaking that big psychological $20 level. I think ignites a much more deeper move to the downside over here on the stock. You kind of don't want to see the stock basically get back above 20 if you're looking for shorts. If it does get back above 20, then it's almost possible that there is no more shorts until it pops up into the north side and shows you rejection properly on the higher end. So you're just waiting for those pops to come into play. Possible longs for you if you're interested, if the stock does reclaim 20. But I am putting in my notes at the moment as the $20 level as a clear resistance, and I should not see the stock above 20. Let's actually go back in and see where the earnings anchored VWAP is, and that's around $21. I will bet you that we probably see something like this coming into play, at which point that anchored VWAP gets drawn down into $20 area, and the stock just has an absolute resistance into 20. And I would love to short the stock going into that $20 area. Another stock that I actually shorted today that had reports on earnings and pre-market, monster short on the opening drive to the south side. The opening drive 5-minute break short gave me a big move right into this area over here, at which point I got out. But it gave you an even bigger move if you were holding the stock today. I mean, my god, Foot Locker sadly dropping 30% on the day, but we'll talk about Foot Locker more. I just wanted to showcase my trade on the day over here, my awesome trade on Foot Locker. It was such an easy trade. Get short, just sit back, kick your feet on the table, watch it drop down, and enjoy the shorts, baby. Victoria's Secret 1980s mall stock. So many better companies out there, and that's why you short the shit out of this one tomorrow. And I can't wait to see how this one reacts. If it gets above 20, then you know, maybe there is no real shorts. But if it gets into 20 and rejects into 20, monster short opportunity over there on Victoria's Secret for a day trade, expecting a lot of relative volume coming in, and that's what makes the stock in play because the relative volume is going to be nice and high, kind of like what it was for Foot Locker today. Now, the next few list of stocks that we're going to talk about real quick is, well, here's the tweet from Zero Hedge. Victoria's Secret 17%, clearly not enough supersized and transgender models. They're just making fun of the whole, you know, they're trying to support the transgender people and so on, but there's not enough models to support those people, so they're not able to sell to those people, and they're just failing at this whole agenda of transformation that they were talking about in their earnings report, and they're just failing completely, and you saw that in the move of the stock. But here's a couple of other stocks that report today. Most of them, or all of them, I don't care about. Rush Street, Honest, if I remember correctly, isn't that the Jessica Alba's company? Yeah, Jessica Alba's company. It's a $4 stock now. Yikes. Was it a higher price? I don't remember ever trading Honest. Maybe back in the day, maybe during IPO. Can't really remember trading Honest, but honestly, the stock sucks. Volume dying down big time. Today I apparently had about a 2 million shares. What? 30-day average volume is 600,000 shares, but today having a pretty decent amount of volume. Yeah, there we go. Let's go into that area. Today having a pretty decent volume, probably in the after hours because it reported in the after hours. Okay, Honest company. Does this have a pretty high short flow? Maybe we have to care about this one tomorrow. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't give a shit anymore. Only 3% short flow? What the hell? Flick coming soon in Honest. Okay. Baby diapers. Is that all it is? I thought they sell like oh, stop drawing shit on your goddamn charts, Prad. I thought it was like a bunch more stuff than that. I think they sell like soap, body washes, baby stuff, mainly stuff that is safe for people and skin and body, but they got caught in some scandal where they actually weren't safe and they weren't actually good for you, and I remember that whole craziness that happened too. And wipes too. Okay, yeah, so Honest over here honestly looks like an absolute trash can, but with the move that it made in the after hours, I mean, if it's popping into $4 and breaking out of $4, maybe there's some you know, action over here to the upside. It's only 100 million flow, and 100 million flow, if the stock is you know, getting a little hyperactive, we could possibly see some big moves over there. Let's quickly see actually what the earnings report looks like. Oh, they reported positive comparing it to a miss. They were supposed to lose about 7 cents, if you want to round up 8 cents per share. They actually came out with 1 cent per share profit, and they also beat on EPS. So maybe we need to go take a look at Honest Brands, HNST, real quick on our friends over at Benzinga. Let's go take a look at the earnings report. Oops, sorry guys, let me bring that in for you. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Is that it? I don't care about that. I'm not reading that right now. Give me the summary. I guess no summary for us. Okay. Beats EPS, blah 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 blah. The company reported fourth quarter. Okay, we saw that. The percent increase, 81 million over this. This is a 10.27% increase over sales from same period last year. I mean, that's pretty good. They don't really have anything more than that on Benzinga, sadly, on Honest. I guess, you know, obviously the company doesn't really have that much volume. Don't think a lot of people honestly care about this company. But overall, nice little move in the after hours. We'll see if that one has an extended move tomorrow in the pre-market. It has some extended volume tomorrow. If it pops up on my RVol scanners, I will take a look at it. But without that, Nepa is gonna say Pratty Daddy, and we're gonna mainly keep on watching for stocks that are reporting pre-market that are big on the market terms. Looking at Kroger, which actually is getting bought out by Albertsons, so we'll be careful with Kroger, but it's getting bought out from Albertsons. Possibly will allow it to move a little bit into that buyout price a little bit more. If I remember accurately, what is that buyout price for the stock? Alpha Rank mergers and acquisition deal sheet, KR Kroger, where are you? Kroger no longer getting bought out by Albertsons. Did the deal fall out? The fuck? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Where the hell is KR? I don't see a KR. Looks like it fell apart. Antitrust laws. Okay, so maybe it does come into play tomorrow a little bit. It is on my watch list, so we'll see how the stock reports in pre-market. Along with that, we have a stock that was a recent IPO, Burlington. So we'll see how that one moves along with BJ's, PaySafe, and American Eagle Outfitters. Now, the only reason we're looking at American Eagle Outfitters is because ANF has been doing some crazy moves recently, and this stock kinda in the same realm, exactly the same realm as ANF, hasn't done the similar move, but anytime they both report the same way, this one takes off along with ANF, and this one kind of has a nice little sympathy move behind it. So I'm interested to see if AOE tomorrow reports, even say AOE is Age of Empires. Let's look for if the stock kind of moves around tomorrow. It does bring in a little bit of a big R-vol move on earnings day. You can see those volume candles on earnings day be elevated, but afterwards the volume just dies off, so no interest on AEO. Same thing with PaySafe, a little bit of a lower interest on the stock over here. I think we're most likely going to be looking out to see what happens on stocks like Bitcoin based stocks, and even semiconductors, right? AMD, Nvidia, SMCI, all still moving. So we're gonna still keep watching those stocks, but just to see how any of these stocks will set up for tomorrow will be based on the earnings move. Do they start moving into some of these older levels over here and find resistance? Do they move into some of these older levels here and get above it and show support, which is what we talked about on JD. This is the setup on JD that I talked about yesterday for you. Does it get above that 25 area and actually start finding buyers above 25, or does it start seeing sellers into 25? And successfully the stock finds buyers today off the earnings report and makes a nice little move into almost $26. So that's kind of what you want to watch out for. Do they have buyers coming in above some of these resistance areas where the stock has clearly found struggle to be above? And if it does, good longs are setting up, but if it doesn't, great shorts are setting up. So we're watching all those stocks that I just mentioned not too long ago for pre-market earnings. I want to go see if Burlington still brings in volume. Sadly, no. Oh wait, I thought Burlington was a recent IPO. What the hell? What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about Burke. I'm thinking about Birkenstock. Oh, Burlington's not a recent IPO, duh. But we'll take a look at how this one moves around tomorrow. Pretty expensive stock for a low volume, so spread is going to be nasty. But apparently the stock brings in, you know, some pretty decent volume on earnings. 6 million there, 5 million there. What happened over here, which brought in 12 million, and we took the stock from almost 130 area to 180 area. So craziness over here. We'll see if the stock can help with the help of earnings tomorrow. Pre-market start getting launched up. Also, biggest loss ever on PaySafe 2022. Was that for yourself or for the stock? FTC suing to prevent Kroger's and Albertsons merger, I believe, says Swimmer. Thank you, Swimmer. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I thought that deal was going to go through, but clearly Alpha Rank is not saying anything, so usually that means the deal probably fell apart. And I will agree with you. You had the biggest loss on PaySafe in 2020. Ouch, my friend. 2022. Let's zoom out a little bit. Right over here on that move down there. Oh, I mean, that IPO was insane. $170 IPO, and now it's at $14. I mean, come on. Anyone who got into the IPO and rode that high to the north side, everyone got burnt. And it's not just this stock. I mean, you can look at so many stocks that had this type of destruction type of move. You had Coinbase doing that. Coinbase, which IPO'd at $400 and ripped up to the north side. This is part of the reason why Reddit, RDDT, oh man, you can already pull it up. That's insane. It's part of the reason why Reddit is actually aiming for a lower price valuation and a lower valuation in general, because they want people to because the IPO markets are not hot. They don't want to see these stocks just crash to the downside and ruining the people who are going to most likely be holding on to the Reddit shares, which are those few moderators here and there who believe in Reddit because they've been using Reddit for so long, and they actually go out there and subscribe to that offer that Reddit has, which is if you have enough karma, you can actually buy shares of the stock before the IPO actually happens. So for those investors, they don't want the price of the stock to get destroyed, and then hence they're trying to structure it in a way where it'll be fair value, and then people will look to buy it more. So Reddit will kind of look to eliminate that process, but we haven't seen a single stock eliminate that process at all besides Kava. No stock that I've seen has eliminated that process as well as Kava, because this is the stock right there. That little peach anchored VWAP was the IPO anchored VWAP, and you can see how beautifully we're above it, a little bit dislocated from it, well dislocated above from it into the all-time high right now. But it's just insane that this stock is doing exactly opposite than what I thought it would do. Here's a stock that doing exactly what I thought it would do, which was Sweet Greens. IPO'd in that crazy prices, and now in the downside, actually breaking out a little bit right now with decent volume. Okay, Sweet Greens, I see you, sweet cheeks. Why did I say that? That was weird. But you guys get the idea. You know, no IPO has actually looked that good as Kava. Here's Coinbase. Coinbase struggled for quite a long time into 2022. So I can feel your pain on PaySafe, my friend. I can feel your pain. Tomorrow, PaySafe, however, earnings pre-market along with BJ, AEO, and Burl and KR. Stocks that already announced earnings last night / today pre-market. We're gonna talk about JD with the monster move back above $25 and actually finding some good supports into that $24.50 into $25. That's where the previous earnings anchored VWAP was. I didn't expect the stock to go much higher than 25. It did manage to go higher than 25. I also did not expect the market to take CrowdStrike well below 338. We thought the report was hella bullish and all that fun stuff, but yeah, no, I was wrong. Do we have an emote for me wrong? Yeah, there we go. I was wrong. Rest in peace to Prastradamus over here. They clearly had a very bad call and a monster pullback on CrowdStrike. Even then, still ending 10% up on the day for CrowdStrike. So can we get some claps for CrowdStrike over here? Pretty big end on the day still. I mean, from 365 going all the way back down to what, 324, and still ending 10% up on the day. That's insane. Overall, tomorrow, I think we need to see the stock get back above 330, back above 338. If we don't, then it's almost like the report was fugazi, and you know, it makes me upset because I thought the report was very damn bullish. So CrowdStrike over here, pretty big move overall to the downside. So watch out for how this one moves. JWN. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see this one. 16% down. JWN absolutely got destroyed today. Wow, wow, wow. Move these bad boys over real quick. JWN got absolutely slapped to the downside. Sadly, pretty big move over there. Let's move that one over here. I can kind of move this one wherever that marker is, and I think I can get rid of that marker for now because we already have that right there, and that was the previous line. We broke the trend clearly. We put the trend line actually last night. If I remember, the stock actually reported after hours yesterday. Yes, and we saw the downside move, and I did say I don't expect the stock going higher, and there's more downside incoming, and that's exactly how it played out. Sadly, I was too infatuated with CrowdStrike and Palantir this morning. Palantir, which I might actually need to add to my watch list. I kind of forgot about Palantir a little bit. I might need to add Palantir to my watch list. Let me just do that real quick right now. Insert one below PLTR, and we'll talk about that in a second. But going back to JWN, I mean, I predicted, I anticipated, I called it, whatever the hell you want to say it. But overall, we shouted out this move over here to the downside. We said that we don't expect the stock getting above this earnings anchored VWAP of $18, $19, and it did not. It just kept flushing, and I think the stock might not be done yet. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I mean, that is a pretty big move overall, going into $17.40 all the way from $19. But I guess I did call that too. I said the stock's ATR was like $1 something, and watch it make like a $2 move tomorrow in the range, and it was, I think it was like 96 cents, and it made like a $2 range. So I kind of called that. But calls don't mean anything if you don't execute on them. So yeah, didn't really do anything on JWN today, sadly. It's exactly into the previous earnings anchored VWAP. So possible buying action to come in, maybe some selling to come in. It'll be pretty hard to see another similar candle like this all the way to the downside going into $15. It'll be hard to picture that. So I will see if any supports come in at somewhere at these lows where the stock can find some buyers, at which point maybe we can look for some SSR along. But the overall pretty big down move over here on JWN. Might just have to have the stock as a little high importance for tomorrow based on today's move. Clearly rejecting that $19, not even able to go test that $20 area. So struggling for that stock. 1.31 ATR for Palantir. Now let's head over to Palantir. Palantir coming in with a beautiful new catalyst, making some new mistakes on Palantir. That's a joke from yesterday if you tuned into my stream from last night. But Palantir finally making some new contracts over here again, with the AI based contracts for the army. I mean, I would love to know more about this one. I'll do that research on my own for the next stream. But a new contract for the army, an AI based contract, launching the stock back into this 52-week high to the north side and getting ready to maybe play with some of the levels even higher. So waiting to see what happens around 27.50, around 29, 28, and what happens on the pullback back into the same high over here. Was that the 25.50? Let me go back to the yearly chart. Is that 25.50? Yeah, let's see if we can go back into that 25.50 area and find supports again. We don't really want to see the stock under 25.50. If it is, then there is no more long, in my opinion, on this stock. It's almost like way too choppy of an action off that catalyst, and that catalyst is not as significant and is also not as clean of a play intraday. It wasn't that clean today. It trapped a lot of people to the upside, trapped a lot of people to the downside, eventually ran up. But if it does pull back tomorrow into 25.50, I think there's a beautiful long opportunity setting up over here. Also, not financial advice, as my friend Mikey Crahan advises. Seriously, should I buy back? But I sold a while back. Palantir sucked for me. Definitely bought the top. Yeah, that's usually what happens when you FOMO and punch the top. What'd you buy it at? $45? You bought it at 23 and sold it at 21. That's not bad. That's not bad. Whatever. That's not bad. I think my average was right here around $14. I bag held it all the way to $5, and once it came to 20, I got out for profit. So, I mean, I'm not that much better either. I'm not that much better either. I got in on the way down right here into 17, but then I kept averaging down. I think my average was like around $14, $15. And then eventually once it came back to 20, I just punched out my whole position. As for your question as should you buy it back, I mean, yeah, I would wait. I would at least wait for the stock to get back under $20, $23 is where the earnings anchored VWAP is. If it pulls back to this support line over here into $23, I would kind of use that to build or start a little bit of a position. I don't think the stock goes back under 20, honestly, Crahan. I don't think it goes back under 20 anytime soon, unless it has a big miss on earnings report. This stock is getting ready to get added to the S&P 500 index anytime soon. I think by the next earnings report, we're going to get added. The stock is going to get added to the earnings report. Get added to the S&P 500 index. It was rumored to get added to the index actually for this coming up rebalance on the triple witching that's happening. So that's when the SMCI ad is happening. A quick little upper decky over here. That's when the S&P 500 rebalance is happening for SMCI and so on. So Palantir was rumored to be on that, but Palantir is not going on there just yet, but will most likely be on there very soon. And that's what you're going to see the stock kind of getting bought up a little bit more. And any bullish catalyst that the stock has, I think is just going to propel it higher and higher. But that doesn't mean you chase it. You don't FOMO it, right? You wait for the pullbacks, wait for the patterns to buy in. Now, this is a bullish breakout, yes. But after this breakout happens, if it comes back and uses previous resistances as support, then you could buy into this area, right into that little double bottom at the previous resistance, which should turn into support. That's around 25.50. And then you have a nice little risk off into 2450 where you're risking about $1. The earnings anchored VWAP should get caught up a little bit more also, and all things look better. You don't FOMO trade over here to the north side. Just wait a little bit. My lip burning. What the fuck? What's that, bro? An upper decky? You know what the upper deckies are? Come on, mate. Liked the video solely on the thumbnail. Appreciate it, my friend. Appreciate it. Oh, I'm glad you'll enjoy the thumbnail. We got a lot more of those. You should go check out my page on YouTube. We got lots of crazy thumbnails going on. But yeah, TraderPrad is a dime for sure. Even as a woman, baby. A dime in every single way. You know what to do. But Palantir, let's see if Palantir can make us a dime tomorrow. I want to shoot that a nice three-pointer by taking that move to the north side after the test of 2550 support coming in, and we launch back to $30. Not happening in one day. The stock's ATR is $1.3, but I want to see the swing trade into $30 coming in over here to the north side on Palantir. It's just a nicotine replacement patch thing. So it's like instead of vaping, this gives you like you like suck on it, and it kind of like gives you a little bit of nicotine. It's minty, and it's supposed to help you with anytime you crave, like you want to go for a smoke or vape or whatever. Because I'm trying to quit vaping, and I actually have been doing pretty good at that. Haven't vaped in a long time. My lungs feel so much better. That's a lie, because I still smoke 420. All right, CrowdStrike. Big move to the downside, sadly, on CrowdStrike. We want to see that 330 holding. 330 better show some support. At the very least, today's low should not break, which is around 324. Let's say 325. Today's VWAP probably on the upper end over here. Yes, upper end. Ooh, look at that. Yesterday's anchor VWAP and the day before that anchor VWAP coming in exactly around that 327, 330 area, which is a beautiful support, looks like. But like I said, that 330, without a doubt, you want to see the stock getting above 330 in pre-market. If it's not above 330, then it's almost not in play for me. So I want to see 330 support coming into play. I'm also going to put inflection 330 on the stock. Resistance will be about $17 from 330, honestly. Yeah. Juan, what's up, Juan? Juan says, sub degens. Don't call me that, man. Just because I act, look, trade, feel like one doesn't mean I am one, okay? Just because I quack like a duck doesn't mean I am a duck. Rawr, I'm a dinosaur. Anyways, JWN. Big move. We talked about this one. I want to see JWN basically hold up around $17 and $16.50. If it doesn't, we got more downside, ladies and gentlemen. A day two play to the downside, which is crazy to imagine. Crazy to imagine. But if we do, there's more downside over here coming in. That 1650 area, possible supports on JWN. So watch out for that one. Priority blue. Priority blue. Foot Locker. I mean, that's a big candle. Now we close the gap. Now we close the earnings gap. That's pretty important. There's got to be a buy over here around $23, around $24. So I'll be watching very closely what happens around 23, around 24. There's got to be an intraday long here tomorrow, 23 to 24. Watching what happens in this 23 to 24 area. And ladies and gentlemen, if we break 23 tomorrow, all hell's break loose, because that's going, the stock's going to plummet more to the downside, all the way back into that all-time low area. Please don't tell me the all-time low is much lower. Fine, that's whatever. Screw you. Not the all-time low, but at least into the 52-week lows over a swing term scale. So we're plummeting over here at that point. So if we break 23, in my opinion, it's kind of GG's for the stock. So be careful if you are long Foot Locker. But tomorrow for intraday, I do believe, based on how big of a move this is, 30% drop on an earnings beat. Earnings beat, guidance miss. 30% drop on that is insane. You're gonna see some possible value buying coming in if they think there is value here. If they don't think there's value here, then they're gonna be waiting at 20. They're gonna be waiting at 16, and that's why I say be careful if the stock breaks 23 tomorrow. It's gonna all hell breaks loose. But if 23 ends up actually holding, I think we got a beautiful move into this $26. The stock's ATR is $2. Today's range was well more than $2. It was a $7 range all the way from the low to the high, but the ATR now for Foot Locker is actually $2 based on today's move and the overall average 14 days total. So based on that, I think the stock actually can give you a $2 to $3 range. So watch out to see what happens into that $26 area for resistance. I think there's some possible chances for us to cover our longs and then flip short into that 26 area right here, 26 to 2660 or so, 2650, 27. Okay, next stock, Target. Target, another breakout to the north side. Target said, hold my beer, Prad. You said I will not go to 183 by the end of the week. Let me show you what I can do. And it broke out even more. So Target, as our friend Kanye West would call it, Target with the monster move over here. Big breakout again, and actually kind of set up like yesterday's move. Didn't really pull out, didn't really work that way though. So did the exact same thing, broke out, kind of consolidated, and then kind of broke down and went back up. Broke out, consolidated. I tried a quick little long there. I was looking for the stock to break out through that 175 and keep on climbing higher, but this boomer ass stock didn't want to do that for me, and it just plunged to the downside. So I just got stopped out over there on Target. Overall though, monster move today, continuing on yesterday's move. Basically a nice little day 2 continuation for anyone who got long on the original pump. Target looks like it wants to get ready for that swing move into that 183 184 zone. So if you guys are long, congratulations. I would urge you to continue to hold that a little bit longer. This pattern right now is pretty bullish. It might just give you another candle tomorrow, exactly like the last 2 candles we witnessed on the stock, kind of just getting inching closer towards that 184. At this point, I might just wait at 184 on the stock to see what happens. So be careful for Target. If you are short, then obviously be careful. GitLab actually did what I thought it would do. It did bounce up a little bit. It kind of traded above 60. That's pretty surprising to me. 5% reclaim on that move, okay, but traded sideways for the most part. Don't think there's a trade here, and like I told you, the volume should die down drastically on the stock. Look at that volume candle. It's lower than the day before the earnings report, so big drop on volume, and the spread just opens up more on GitLab. The spread is already nasty on GitLab. It was insane on the day of earnings report itself. So now with the volume kind of dropping down and the range is going lower, the spread's going to be kind of stupid. So just no point in trading this stock unless we see the clear edges coming into play. So just wait near the edges for some of these lower volume stocks that recently reported, such as GitLab and BOX in the same basket. However, it is breaking out to the north side one more time. We're actually seeing 30 come into play now. Monster move. Keep in mind, this one is actually being added into an index, S&P 600, not the 400, 600. CRM didn't do what I wanted to do, but it is back above 300, so I guess we will kind of say that I wanted to see the stock going into 311 and 312 area, rejecting that price point, but did not make a move over there. Very tight range today. Only a $2-3 range on a stock that's ATR is $8, so that's insane. Almost like no sellers came into play, but at the same time no buyers came to play either, probably because they were scared of the market overall. But if tomorrow the stock does kind of get pushed into this 295 area, I think that's a great long in my opinion, based on how the stock has been holding so far. And if it breaks under that 295.50, we got another move right back into the previous earnings VWAP over here in 270 over the long-term scale in my opinion. So watching that 295 area, if we do push back down for some possible setups over there, and if we continue to hold 300, then I'm possibly just going to wait patiently into that 311.75 or 312 area to the north side, which was the previous all-time high right there on CRM. Now Snowflake still going to the downside. I mean, I thought the pops will come, but like I told you, it's the same story as Foot Locker here. If this stock is not going to hold 180, it brings in more bearish move to the downside, and that's exactly how it's setting up. It looked like it was going to hold 180 on the earnings day. It popped up, but then it broke back under 180 in the day third move, and now we're just seeing a continuation, that swing play coming into play like I told you it would if we don't hold 180. And now the next stop honestly looks to be around 140. Right now we are looking to see some buyers coming in around 160, so shout out for that. But I think the stock is honestly done at this point. We are going to see Snowflake push a lot lower. CrowdStrike's earnings report was actually part of the reason why stocks like Snowflake and PanW got beat up, and Frontier, FTNT, is that their ticker? FNTN. Yeah, FTFT, not Frontier. 40net kind of got carried recently with their report, actually. I thought they were going to the downside. But overall, a lot of stocks kind of got beat up based on CrowdStrike's report. And CrowdStrike got beat up on their own report today. Sad. Coinbase, 240 coming into play one more time. So 240 coming into play one more time. It was exactly the same high. At the same time, crypto made a new all-time high. So that 240 level, very important, ladies and gentlemen. Once we break that 240, I think we got lots of craziness coming into Coinbase. So watch out for this one. Without a fail, we're going to have a lot of fun with the cryptocurrency world for the next few days, and the chip sector, chippies. So a lot of fun with the chip sector, a lot of fun with the cryptocurrency sector. 240 coming into play. Let's actually go see where Bitcoin is at the moment. BTC USD around 66,070 cents. Why did I say 70 cents? $66,070. I'm actually going to go over to, you guys know what I'm going to do. We're going to go over to our friends over at Bookmap. It should be the ES. BTC. Hit that like, guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Make sure you're checking your mama's messages. Your mom's be messaging you and you guys be leaving her on red. Don't be doing that, man. Don't be doing that. Don't be leaving your moms on red. Okay? Make sure you hit that like, that subscribe. About 40% of you, if I remember accurately from seeing the statistics, are not subscribed. Come on. Right now, right off the bat, don't like what I'm seeing. 181 coins to be sold over here, another 150 coins to be sold over there, another 170 coins to be sold a little bit higher. Don't like what I'm seeing right now on BTC, ladies and gentlemen. So be a little bit careful. Them mountains, are those mountains? I guess you can call them mountains. Those heat map lines are thick eyes with 5 C's, not 3 C's, 5 C's. So thick odds over there, big coins to be sold off. Clearly they paced it like around 500 each. You see 67,500, 6,800, and then 68,500, and they're about the same amount of coins, about 180, 150 coins. So it's almost probably the same seller, at least in my opinion. I'm theorizing as the same seller, just pacing it 500 coins away, all the way to the north side, kind of scamming us over here, stopping the stock from going too much higher. Move, you stupid seller. Hope you get absolutely destroyed if you're trying to short sell with the leverage account. And if you're just trying to take profits, you're a paper-handed pussy, period. F you. Get away from this market. Take your profits and leave. But Coinbase probably going above 240 if cryptocurrencies over here start running to the north side. Wish it was me with them coins. Yeah, with the 170 coins. You know who I think it is? Is this guy. Is this guy taking profits? Look at this guy throwing gang signs, dude. CZ taking profits from jail right now. I bet you it's CZ. But yeah, we'll see how these ones move. Mara, not as interesting. I mean, you seeing how cryptocurrencies are going up, but here's Mara. Mara's struggling, so not as interesting for me. We actually, what's going on over there? We got a new sub. Oh, thank you for subscribing, David Bronson. Appreciate the subscribe. Who's Satoshi? It's my doggo. It's my doggo. I call him Coco, but he's actually Satoshi. And the wallet well, he actually ate the wallet, the USB. He actually ate it. He never pooped it out. And yeah, the wallet's gone, man. The wallet's gone. All good, Prad. Love your chat. Thank you, David. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Much love. The stock Mara over here, guys, not doing anything like cryptocurrencies are doing, right? It's getting destroyed. So not really the stock that you want to probably look at if you're trying to look for a sympathy trade on cryptocurrency, on Bitcoin. I would suggest, if you want to trade Bitcoin, just go trade BITO or GBTC on the Amex markets. They are actually a 1-to-1 relation almost. Those lights flash again, or am I tripping balls? They're actually almost a 1-to-1 relation over here on Bitcoin. BITO actually is more of a 1-to-1 relation than GBTC, but Mara, because it's a miner, not like a young person, but it's a crypto miner, it mines coins. They have a little bit of a different move, and they also recently announced earnings, which I thought was good, but they are not really doing what they're supposed to be doing. So dirty, I'm gonna stay away. No good over there. Most likely securing his bags. Yeah, 'cause he's a pussy and he's scared that he's gonna get raped in jail. That's why. He's not that pretty though. He's not pretty to get. I shouldn't say the R word. Damn it, I'm gonna get absolutely banned on YouTube now. YouTube, like, AI algorithm is gonna hear me and stop pushing my channel to people. But yeah, he's not pretty enough to have the soap dropped on him anyway, so yeah, he's fine. AMD, BITO, Mara, we talked about the cryptocurrency stuff. Next up, we got the chip sectors, which honestly, like I told you, not only do they have the pump right now from the AI sector, they're also going to get that pump from the cryptocurrency sector. So chips are going off to a whole new realm now. I think, AMD, you've seen how monstrous AMD has been. Nvidia going into 900, almost $3 away from 900, probably above 900 in the after hours. These market makers take the edge away from us every single time. That's part of their job description, apparently. Take edge away from good traders and make sure that their edges are none. So they're doing that very successfully by making most of these moves in the after hours and pre-market. So we'll see how 900 comes into play. Might have to look for some sort of a dip buy into yesterday's high, which was around 897, which is today's high, sorry. Look into 897 if we're already above 900. We'll be very careful to see what happens over there on BTC. Thank you for subscribing, beginner. What's up, beginner? Thank you for the love, my friend. What is happening here on what, Nvidia? Wouldn't you, if you controlled a book? I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But come on, dude. Let me eat. Let us eat a little bit. You guys eat all the time. You guys are fat over there. Those Citadel people, like, does Ken Griffin look fit to you? This guy... You get like that because you're making tons of money. And you're sitting there eating calamari and caviar. He actually doesn't look that fat over here. He actually doesn't look that fat over here. But yeah. Come on, let us eat too, man. They don't want us win. They don't want to see you win. But yeah, AMD, Nvidia, the chip sector, very hot. SOXL, the 3 times leverage ETF long side. SOXS, 3 times leverage ETF short side. You also have SMH, which is a straight up ETF, and you also have SOXX, which is also a straight up ETF, but a way higher price than SMH. So these are your choices for the ETFs. If you're interested, take a look at that. But I also learned a nice little neat new trick. If you want to follow a bunch of stocks and create your own little ETF, your own little sector that you want to watch for all of these stocks together, all you have to do is just put in AMD put in NASDAQ AMD plus Nvidia plus Micron plus MRVL plus ON plus AVGO is not another semiconductor stock, so we'll put in that one too. SMCI, how can I forget that? So we can do this, hit enter, and you get a nice little chart over here, right? You will see how the stocks are moving. This is basically your ETF now. Screw off. This is basically your ETF now. You're watching this move over here, and you can use the up moves and the down moves to help you gauge when to get long into some of the stocks, when to get short in some of the stocks. You can even assign specific weightages for each company that you would like to assign specifically. So lots of things, lots of stuff over here that I recently learned on. I guess I can't go to the 5-minute time frame. But lots of cool stuff recently that I learned over there on TradingView. Shout out to TradingView, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to TradingView. Semiconductors always in play. Along with semiconductors, you got the large cap stocks that are absolutely getting destroyed, sadly. Apple now pushing into that 167 area, breaking 170 clearly and pushing into 167. Google around 130s now, so Google dropping to the downside. Microsoft going into 400s, very much coming into play. We actually broke 400 today, so never mind. So Microsoft 400, Meta getting back under 490. Ooh, still under 490 still, above 490 still, but under 500. Shout out to Meta for not really faulting at all. Meta is holding strong. I guess because Meta is part of this whole AI basket. Tesla failing. Tesla continuing go back downside. We thought that 175 would hold. It did not hold. It went a little bit lower than 175 to 173.70 and then bounced from there. So Tesla also going down a little bit more. So markets are clearly crumbling right now. It's a little weak. It's a little weak. But even then, QQQ positive on the day, SPY positive on the day. So it did not matter if the large basket stocks such as Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, and actually, fun fact, Tesla is no longer the top 10 stocks in the world, and it's also no longer the top 10 stocks in North America by market cap, that is. So top 10 stocks North America by market cap. One, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia only inches away from taking over Apple as the second largest company in the world. Okay, Nvidia inches away from taking over Apple. It just recently took over Amazon and all of these other companies. Where is Tesla? There you go. Tesla is now the 11th largest company in North America, well under the all these other companies. The top 10 used to have Tesla in them. It actually used to be top 7. It used to be the Magnificent 7, and it's no longer the Mag 7. The Mag 7 now comes from Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, Google, Meta, and Berkshire, Uncle Buffy coming into play over here with the top 7 stocks in North America, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to that. Britta coming in with the $1 super chat with the banana. Britta, how do you know the banana joke? Yeah, no Tesla, go back. I know, right? Yeah, Tesla, sadly, yikes. Yikes. Nvidia literally took over everything. Yeah, no kidding. When the market leader starts turning down, it's a warning sign. I guess, would you really call Tesla a market leader? I guess you're saying Apple, because here's the 30-day price, right? For the last 30 days. Is that the 30-day chart? Damn, Apple. Yeah, for the last 30 days, Apple, Alphabet, Microsoft. Even though Microsoft's pretty much flat. Here's Tesla. The rest of them we don't really care about right now, but most of them have been pretty much good, I guess. You know, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, Berkshire, Lilly, AVGO, Visa, they're all doing good. It's just your big cap tech stocks such as Google and Apple. Google's, it's their own fault. They screwed up on that whole Gemini thing. Apple, I mean, they're not having as many sales. People are learning finally that Apple's not as as cool as they make it seem. Every single year you just come out with the same phone with a little bit of a hardware update, and they just trick people into that nonsense. But I guess what phone provider is not doing that at this point, right? But overall, a lot of people that I personally know have made that switch from Apple into Android, and I think a lot of people outside in the real world are also doing that. So Apple over there taking a little bit of hit, their productions are going down, their sales are going down, hence their price is going down, and looks like their value is going to be overtaken by Nvidia very, very soon. Nvidia is now going to be the second largest company in the world, ladies and gentlemen. The world. How long until Nvidia becomes the largest company in the world? How long? Everyone will say it's you with a banana, apparently. It's because I got a big one. A big banana, sorry. I mean, I'm talking about the banana that I eat in the morning. Wait, whoa, pause. Whoa, whoa. Okay, go next topic. That's a weird topic. Go next. Apple held up in 2020, though. Yeah, they did pretty good in 2020. We'll see how, I mean, Apple always has this like one random product that they come out with that kind of revolutionizes the technology world a little bit. They did that with the first product they ever came out with, which was the Apple iPod. If you ever had the first original Apple iPod, it was like a brick of a unit. I'm trying to find something that's relatively the size of it. I think this was exactly the size of it. If I remember correctly, this was pretty much the size of it right here. Let me go to the full cam. It was the size of this thing. There would be a little dial over here in the middle, and you would spin that dial to kind of select your music and so on. The old school Apple iPod that revolutionized the music industry, the way you listen to music. People no longer carried you know, CD cases anymore. People used to have a case full of CDs. People used to have these things hung on their visors. They used to have cases and cases of these things in their dashboard, and you know, actually sometimes cars used to get robbed only for their CD player. You would have people getting into cars, breaking into cars, and those things got robbed. That kind of changed too. People don't no longer carry CD cases. People no longer have CD players. Everything's Bluetooth. Everything's off the device. That changed because of Apple. Then Apple kind of came out with another revolutionary product afterwards, which was those headphones. Obviously, you can put in the phone in there a little bit. The iPod kind of turned into iPod Touch, and the iPhone and the touch screen and everything came out of through there. So shout out to Apple for all of those generations that started from, which I believe honestly started from the iPod, the first thing. It just kind of built on top of that. Then the second revolutionary product was those wireless earbuds that came out not too long ago, or you can even say the wearable watches. But the wearable watches kind of came out from Fitbit well before everybody. That got acquired by Google and completely got murdered by Google afterwards, taken behind the shed and shot to the head. So Google kind of annihilated Fitbit, but they kind of started that whole wearable watch kind of craze, and Apple kind of built on that. So I don't want to give Apple the benefit of the doubt for revolutionizing that industry, but they kind of started it a little bit. But they really revolutionized the earphone industry. No one had truly earless wire buds. That thing did not exist, and if they did, probably in the secret world somewhere, right? Those things did not exist. Once they came out, almost every company was fighting Apple to make a similar product. I actually use Sony's because I believe Sony's are the best headphones ever created. They were in the music industry before everybody. Sony Walkmans, if you guys remember that part, right? So Sony Walkmans also got rendered useless because of Apple iPod. Anyways, coming back to the earphones, though that changed the revolution completely. Now with the Apple Vision Pro, whatever the hell they're calling it, that headset, I think is the next game changer here, honestly, because that's gonna render TVs useless. You're no longer going to need to buy a $3,000 desktop, hook it up to a TV. That way you can stream movies through it, or an Apple TV or you know, any of those things. Now you just buy that headset, you have Apple TV through that. You can put a TV as big as your screen of your wall in your house. You can lay on the bed and have your whole ceiling as the whole TV in itself. So there's so much stuff that's going to change because of that headset that is going to like get rid of, in my opinion. Like, computers are going to probably render useless a little bit unless you really need to do some of that heavier processing, like editing videos or gaming or something. Computers are going to probably run a little bit useless too. So that revolution, I'm really wondering how that's going to help Apple or hinder Apple. Are they going to get front run by other companies such as Meta Quest and so on? So a lot of questions over there, but they did revolutionize it, and anytime they do change the world like that a little bit, they get a lot of boost in their personal valuation. Currently that valuation is getting absolutely slaughtered, and I think it's their own fault. I guess I shouldn't say it's their own fault, but you know, their valuation is getting slaughtered over here. It would be nice if they gave out guidances on their reports. Apple hasn't guided for a long time. They just say, screw you guys, we're not going to give any guidances, and they just leave it. I love the toque. Thank you. ASAP Nation, baby. But there you go. That's a quick little rant over there on that part. Thank you for subscribing, Ian David. Thank you for the sub, Ian. Much appreciated. We need Steve Jobs back. Yes, let's go bring him out of the grave real quick and replace Tim Cook or whatever his name is. It is Tim Cook, right? Tim Cook. Maybe Elon can bring him back. Ooh. Elon needs to figure out how to bring himself back from the dead whenever they get his ass, because it looks like they're coming for Elon at the moment. They're coming for Elon. They're coming for his stock price at the very least right now. So yikes. That's pretty much the watch list for today. We talked about the overall market really quickly. I mean, a little bit of an inside candle. Didn't really break out today. Powell did testify today, and the market didn't really move too much off that testimony. He kind of said everything in line, you know, market, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to raise, cut the hikes just yet, blah, 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 and all that stuff. So he's going to do that tomorrow again. So tomorrow at 10 o'clock, he's going to go back on the microphone. Where is he? It says tomorrow. Where is that? Where's his name? There you go. 10 o'clock, Papa Powell back on the microphone. He's actually going to be done tomorrow, thankfully. But throughout the day, we got other members coming and a bunch of other economic numbers throughout the day too. So 8:30, export-import numbers along with jobless claims. 10 o'clock, we should have the natural gas numbers. Sorry, 10:30, we have that. 11:30, Atlanta GDP number. And that's pretty much it, thankfully. So watch out for those specific time periods. 10 o'clock might be a little important. We thought it would be very important. It didn't really do too much today. However, the market did make some wild moves later on, and some real big whales were pushing around positions. So we'll see if that action kind of bleeds into tomorrow too. Will be interesting to see actually where is the market right now? Going down. Ooh, market going down right now. Looks like the after hour sessions, the after night sessions, whatever you want to call it, is pushing to the lower side, and down we go on the market. There we go. There's some buyers here. There's some sellers here. But we are getting a lot more bigger selling action coming in than the buying. So the bigger the circle, the bigger the seller that's getting filled. And they did push it down. But there you go. Some buying getting matched with that selling. But does that selling pressure get kicked back in? Will be fun to see what happens. But the market sadly is pushing down at the moment. Ooh, buyers coming right back in. Buyers match that selling right back up. This is basically what happened all day. It would flush down, immediately pop right back up. So yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Do we see all-time highs again? 440, 441, 442 actually coming back into play, or do we just hang out in this area more and just wait for I guess for the rebalance that's happening soon, the triple witching that's happening soon, and also the what am I trying to say? The FOMC date that's coming up at the 21st of March. Come on. 20th of March, not the 21st, sorry, the 20th of March. So that's also an important time period over there on the overall market. But for tomorrow's important stocks, basically Victoria's Secret, FL, which is Fruity Loops, Foot Locker, Palantir, CrowdStrike, JWN, and CRM. We'll be watching how those ones move, the cryptocurrencies basket, the semiconductor basket, and the bunch of stocks that report earnings tomorrow pre-market. If any of them have decently high RVOL and are at some decent levels to play off of, I will be making some changes to my watch list. And if you are subscribed to my watch list on Patreon, you will get all those updates in there. So if you're not subscribed to my watch list, or if you want to subscribe to my watch list, you can do so by subbing to my Patreon, and you get some other added benefits over there. Go check that link out down below in the description, my friends. But this is the end of the stream. The stream was brought to you by Benzinga, TraderSync, and Trade Ideas. Thank you to my affiliate sponsors as they help me keep these lights on. So go check them out down below in the description, and they all have their affiliate codes also that will give you some discounts. Also go check out all the other social media links in the same place, such as my Discord, where we have awesome conversations throughout the day. It's absolutely free. We do have all awesome tools, all free for you. Go check those tools out. My Instagram, my Twitter, all that fun stuff. And last but not least, once this stream ends, you guys will be pushed over to my friends over at Think with Bookmap Family. And if you could do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe on their channel too, and show them how much you love TraderPrad by putting in TraderPrad raid in the chat. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, show up tomorrow, same time, same place, 8 o'clock. Good night. Have an even better market day. Peace.